Hello, it's Aigerim, and this is my self-reflection video on the course Teaching English to Young Learners. I would like to start this video with a bit of summary and reflection of what I have learned throughout this semester. So first of all, I get acquainted with the term young learner's age, range and its characteristics, and then I've learned about how the acquisition of second language happens. And I've learned about the importance of choral drilling in teaching and also learning different language aspects, such as learning grammar or vocabulary. Then that there is no one ideal method in teaching English. There are several methods and they're different and unique, but we should be able to incorporate them and kind of take the best factors from them and incorporate them to our teaching. Then I've learned about how we can implicitly teach grammar, and it's very important to teach it that way to young learners because they cannot grasp some like abstract concepts. And now I would like to talk about my mock micro teaching lesson and reflect on it overall to like cover steps and the things that I've learned through teaching, preparing, and after that like getting the feedback. So let's start, and I would like to start with the first pure listening activity that I did. I've taught vocabulary to students using choral drilling and total physical response. I showed the pictures of the words on the board, for example, swim, and then I showed the action of swimming to students. And that's how we also choral drilled this practice. So in this first activity, I could incorporate both choral drilling and total physical response, and that is how I got to practice these two methods in one activity. And then went to a listening activity. I just turned on the audio script, but after that I read the text myself, so that by doing that I could model the language to learners. For example, I managed the speed of the text. I read it more slowly. I used teacher's voice, some interesting intonations, like raising my voice while asking questions. And I think overall this activity went very well because I used the information from that I got from the lecture to read the text after getting learners to listen then. And one more thing that I would add would be that I would give students some time to read the text themselves so that they can get acquainted with it, and in the future when they will like repeat after me and continue it will be more easier to them. Okay, so in the next activity I've incorporated implicit grammar teaching. Even though I didn't teach grammar, I just taught them the structure of I can do, for example, or I can't do, for example, I can swim or I can't fly. Yeah, they had to answer to the questions what can you do and what can't you do, and it was a great way of just like drilling kinda, and also getting students acquainted with the structure of the grammar can. Now for the preparation part of the lesson. First of all, lesson plan, this paper. And I really struggled to make a lesson plan because I think I just overthinked a bit. Yeah, I made it too complicated, and it was even hard for me to follow my ideas and what I've written here during teaching, and also it was really too complicated. So in the future I'll try to make it more simple and not to overthink this task. And yeah, and then during teaching itself I was a bit nervous, and I'll try to be less nervous. I'll try to manage my emotions as a future teacher. Some other takeaways would be to be more demanding of students and ask them to give the answers to the teacher, and especially pay attention to the students that are sitting on the back of the class. Another interesting process of the preparation was that I practiced this lesson on my 7-year-old brother and 12-year-old sister. Like, I got them, they sat with me and I taught them vocabulary of like actions, yeah, swim, fly, run, walk. And I just showed them these pictures and they repeated after me, and also they did like this total physical response with me, and it was interesting for them, it was interesting for me, and that way also I could see the real process of the like lesson managing or lesson conducting. So I think overall this small micro teaching lesson went successful, and I really liked it. I really liked the activities that I used and how I applied some of the methods and theories that I've learned during the course and lectures. One more thing that I want to mention overall about the process of my micro teaching, that I got to try 3 different roles. First, I was a teacher, I was a presenter. I got to apply my learned knowledge on practice and manage the whole class overall. And then I became learner, I became a participant of other teachers' lessons. And then just recently I became an observer and like critiqued, evaluated, and gave peer feedback to one of my group mates. And I think it was a really great experience. I really liked it because trying out 3 different roles and seeing everything from different perspectives really helped me to understand overall and to like reflect on the process of teaching. Now I want to talk about my strengths. I successfully conducted the micro teaching lesson and got a positive feedback. I could incorporate some of the theories that I learned during the lecture in my lesson. Then I actively participated during the seminar discussions, during the activities that we did, and I also got a pretty high and well grade in my midterm exam. Now moving on to the weaknesses. So it was hard for me to manage the class during the teaching process, like paying attention to the students sitting at the back of the row or giving some instructions, because for young learners we have to give simple one-step instructions, but I just couldn't think of a way to give them simple instructions and where to use L1 correctly. Then it was complicated and I struggled with lesson planning, and that's why my lesson plan became too complicated and overthinked maybe. And I was a bit nervous during teaching, and I will try to work on that to manage my emotions. And the last but not least is time management. I just tend to put everything on the last minute and do it in the last minute, so I should work on that area too. Moving on to opportunities, and I got acquainted overall about the process of teaching young learners, on how to manage the class, on how to prepare the lessons, and I think this lesson helped me to understand overall the process of it. But I'm still not sure whether I will teach young learners or not, but I think we will see it on practice when I will go to teach in real life. And then I want to develop my teaching skills and got a little bit of more practice, and also it's an opportunity for me to learn how to give proper feedback. And some final thoughts and summary and reflection. I truly enjoyed learning this course, truly enjoyed getting to know about young learners, about the methods, activities that we can use to teach them. And teaching young learners is a process that requires teachers' work, teachers' learning, patience, and I think, but it's a really interesting journey. So thank you for this course. Goodbye.